KeyForge. It was announced today. Richard Garfield, Brad Andres broke down the next expansion set. I have all the details. I have some fun notes. We're gonna talk shop right now. So yes, so much information to go over. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited. KeyForge, second set, the first expansion set is coming. It's announced. We have a name, Age of Ascension. Now, I kind of went over took some good notes here. This is the first time for the channel. We're doing a kind of like a breakdown video. Trying my best here to kind of get the information to you guys in a concise form, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty excited about the new set coming out. Some important things to note, basically, Fantasy Flight Games today on Twitch had an interview with Brad Andres, Richard Garfield, basically ran by Brooke Robinson, and they basically broke down everything about the new set, Age of Ascension. Pretty excited about it. I don't know about you guys. KeyForge has been a hit. I think as of right now, there's 600,000 decks registered. That's not saying how many decks are out there, but 600,000 decks. People took the time to register in the app of the first series of the game. KeyForge is a thing. I think this game has legs, and I'm just basically super excited about the space and the announcements today. I think where we're going in the future is pretty exciting. So we'll go ahead and start from the top and kind of just took some things that stood out to me. Now with the interview with Richard Garfield, I'm kind of a fanboy, love magic, so great details and more insight behind the design of the set. So basically right from the top, this is the first expansion. So expansion basically means, it's not necessarily a sequel. We're still on the Crucible. It's a continuation of the lore, and basically we'll go ahead and start from the top. 370 card set, 204 new cards, 166 old cards from previous. Called the Archons will be mixed in to form the new pool, and the same 7 houses. Touching on the houses, basically what they wanted to do, basically it's like the second step, pushing boundaries. They wanted to infuse a lot more variety and kind of just, the thesis of each house is there, but kind of explore and just have more fun surprises in each of the said houses. The 7 houses, basically, all the favorites are back, the same 7, and as far as variety goes, some fun new mechanics. So we'll go ahead and start with mechanics as well. No mechanics confirmed with the set that interact with the color keys. First bit of news, they did hit on that a few times. I did see Brad say this set, this set, this set.
We have someone from the interwebs who would like to know if there are any new mechanics that relate to the specific colors of the 3 keys.
Not in this set. There's nothing in this one.
Now, that leads me to believe that they'll explore that space in the future. I don't know how that works, but I think as of right now, we don't necessarily need design in that space, but the opportunity for, going forward is pretty cool. But for right now, no interaction with the color keys. If you forge a red key, it's pretty much irrelevant, yellow and blue. So you forge your keys like normal. Going into the keywords, we have 3 new keywords: Alpha, Omega, and Deploy. Alpha and Omega are basically sister keywords. They kind of resemble each other. Alpha must be the first thing you do on your turn. So the first card you play on your turn must be an Alpha card. You cannot play an Alpha card, a creature basically, your 3rd or 4th card being played, it must be your first. In the same similar vein, Omega must be the last card that you play on your turn. So if you play an Alpha first, maybe play an artifact, play a creature, then you would play an Omega card. Now in the example stated in the video, they didn't necessarily say, let's say if you have 2 Alpha cards, or if you have 2 Omega cards. I'm not sure how that works, but for the most part, Alpha gets played first. First thing you must do, you must set up, and then Omega would be your last card for the play. Now I don't know if that stretches into artifacts, if that goes into action cards, or just creatures, but those are just some of the 2 keywords broken down for you like that. Like I said, this is the first time we're doing this time. I wrote down, I'm pretty excited about this. We'll try to get through this. It's a little bit rough. But okay, going into the 3rd keyword. The 3rd keyword is Deploy. Kind of exciting keyword. So basically it led me to believe that these are creature only keyword. It can be inserted into the battle line and not just on the flank. So if you have like some good taunt creatures, if you have some good protection, you can play a deploy card in the middle of your battle line. It's new space, it kind of pushes things out a little bit, and absolutely fun stuff to explore with that. So those are our 3 new keywords. Seem pretty cool. Basically a note, they strive really hard in development to avoid power creep with the set. Age of Ascension will be compatible with Call of the Archons, and balancing wise, there should be no issues. If you have a previous Series 1 deck, you are not obsolete. Huge news. So I think going forward, I'm curious to see what the cutoff date would be. Maybe will it be like a Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh type system to where it's like the last 2 cards is a standard. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But going forward, also too, another basically expansion, not a sequel. Cards are being rotated out. Yes. So like I said, we have 370 cards, 204 of those being new, 166 cards of them old, rotated out. So going in the future, all new sets, we're going to rotate cards out, rotate cards out, rotate cards out. That leads us to a new class of card. Much like Maverick, they called, let's just see, I think they're called Legacy cards. Let's see here real quick. We'll pause real quick if we need to. But yeah, Legacy cards basically is much like a Maverick. It might be a card that cycled out this set. It might be a card that cycled out 3 or 4 years ago. The idea is that they're iconic cards that can pop up back in a new deck, much like a Maverick. So going forward in future sets, you can look forward to, I opened this card. I had no idea this card was available in the set. How this card interacts with other cards in the new sets going forward. There's a lot of design space there, and Richard Garfield seemed really excited about that, which trickled down and made me equally excited as well. So yeah, linked cards confirmed as well. I think I'll go back to Legacy. I'm all over the place, like I said, it's kind of sloppy notes at work. But yeah, we'll go back to linked cards. They are confirmed. What's a linked card? Time Traveler, Future Self, the 4 Horsemen, basically a card that you will get that will automatically include other cards that interact with that card as long as you hit that card. So if you hit that card, if you hit the Horseman of Pestilence, you're getting all 3. That's coming back. That I felt like that was huge. I didn't get the Logos cards. I didn't get a chance to play with Time Traveler, Future Self, but it just seems like an awesome, fun design space. So I'm pretty excited about that. More linked cards are, they are coming, and they are popular. Horseman decks are a thing. People enjoyed getting those, and I feel like there's no reason why that they wouldn't do that going forward. So they didn't say which linked cards are coming back, if the Horsemen are back, if they're if they're obsolete. But look forward to new linked cards in the new set. Page number 2, we got card pool continued. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and read here, so excuse my unprofessionalism. Like I said, straight off of work, very excited. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about it today, so that was my goal. Card pool continued. Basically, yeah, so when taking out cards, it was important to a house. They tried to add reasonable substitutes. Yeah, so basically they avoided iconic cards. So you might see a common card that just had a certain thing going on with it. If they took that card out, they're going to replace it with a similar type of card, or a card that's going to have a new strategy that would replace it. So they're just not willy-nilly obviously pulling stuff out. It's all, there's some good thought process going on behind this. More basically, yeah, this is a great note from Richard Garfield. More substitutions were done at the common level than at any other common level, which makes sense. In your typical deck, you're going to get like 3 to 4, maybe 5 to 6 rares. So if you're only upgrading and getting out the rare cards, the chances of the game experience being new with the new sets is probably not going to be there. So they focused on substitutions were done at the common level, bulk. But they are absolutely, positively going to new rares, new uncommons, lots of stuff teased on the website. I think I'm going to save it for another video, but I'm going to break down all the new cards. New cards are absolutely coming. So kind of touching on that a little bit. I don't know where the note was, but let's see here. Yeah, so I think this applies, so I'm going to go to page 3. So basically, yeah, so going back to the rares, this was a quote from Richard Garfield, what to expect. Basically, variety. Always been about variety. It's always been about rare cards. An infinite amount of rare cards. KeyForge is one step closer to this goal, Richard Garfield. So with Magic the Gathering and, KeyForge as well, the thesis statement of discovering new fun strategies. It seems like a lot of the synergy and strategy is at the top level with the rares and the uncommons. So I'm just excited about that. Fun new rare stuff, and we will keep it moving. So question, when a card is rotated out, is it gone forever? Will it ever be available in a future set? This is a question from the chat during the interview, and I skipped ahead and I kind of touched on it a little bit, and the answer is yes. Legacy cards. One, kind of basically on par with the Mavericks, cards from past sets that have been rotated out will make the jump forward. Surprise cards, fun discovery cards, cards that you did not know were there. So if they say, for example, I have no example, I don't know this is for sure, but let's just say Bad Penny gets rotated out. You know, let's say 3 or 4 years down the line, and you get a pet, you know, totally unsuspected, the joy and of opening a card, an iconic card from a past set like a Bad Penny. That's going to add a lot more gameplay, a lot more fun, just interesting deck combinations. I think that going forward, having say if you rotate out 166 cards from every set going forward, 3 to 4 years from now, there's a pool of 700 to 800 cards potentially that you have no idea that can pop up in the set, and just the variety, fun, surprise factor of opening the unique deck is just that much more fun. So I think that's super awesome. I love the idea of legacy cards. Super excited about it. New starter differences, yes. So basically the starter set was announced. Pretty big differences. I think originally the first starter was impossible to find. You kind of needed it to play, in my opinion. Having the official tokens and the accoutrement that goes around with KeyForge is kind of huge. It kind of sucks if you're playing against somebody and they're using paper chits and, like, you know, little things, die counters. Continuity is a problem. So the starter set is coming back. No intro decks, so they're going to have the 2 unique decks, which is awesome. 2 random unique decks from the new set. You're going to have no starters, so no intro dead decks that you basically never going to use, that everybody gets. For the first set it made sense, but that's extra paper that it's not going to go into the cost, which is great news. Smaller tokens, easier to carry around and fit into your deck boxes and your things. The keys were kind of big, so they specifically addressed the keys. The keys will be a little bit smaller. The amber tokens and the rest will be smaller and more manageable. Basically, I don't know about you guys, I found these online. For my money, I paid $5.99, $6.99 for these amber chits on Amazon, and these are just totally sweet. But if you're gonna go official, that's sweet as well. So aside from the amber, I'm all about the original tokens. I love that. New price, $24.95. $24.95. You're getting tokens. You're getting 2 unique decks, which might run you $10.99, $11.99, $12.99. Anyways, I feel like the starter set, if you already bought it previously, is still applicable, and I think that you guys should absolutely seek that. I don't, you know, the price of 2 decks is $20 anyway. So for the new starter set being $25 all day, makes sense to me. So we'll go ahead and move page 2 down, getting close towards the end. Saving a lot of the big pulls for later, you know, so they didn't go over too much details, but what kind of surprises can we expect? This is from Brad. Basically, more creativity than they originally thought possible. More creativity than they originally thought possible. Surprising changes. So each house will kind of still have the same through line synergy and, you know, thesis for each house, but there will be some surprises, which I'm glad they didn't elaborate too much on because I enjoy the discovery process. All about variety. I kind of touched on this earlier. Always been about rare cards, infinite amount of rare cards. KeyForge is one step closer. Richard Garfield. KeyForge is one step closer, which means we're not quite there yet. I don't know if KeyForge is what bridges the gap, but it seems like to me that Richard Garfield has been toying around with this unique experience for a long time, and you know, the fact that we're getting one step closer to kind of like his vision is pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited about it. Another thing that he kind of trickled in a little bit, so not necessarily a mechanic, but a new card design. Richard Garfield talked about, I believe he has his sons implemented it into the sets. Forgetting the names, I didn't write them down, but basically they play off each other. You're not guaranteed, they're not linked, so if you get one, you're not going to get the other per se. We don't know which house they're in, but as far as mechanics go, I believe they're named after his twin boys. I took so many notes, you'd think I would have wrote that down, but I did not.
Panpaka Jaga and Panpaka Anga. So these are from Untamed, and they're cards made for my twin boys who are now 18 months old. Panpaka Jaga, Jaga, is James Garfield, and Panpaka Anga is Antoine Garfield.
But basically, his 2 sons, one is basically when you play the card, every creature on the left of your battle line will get a bonus, and if you play the other twin son, every creature on the right of your battle line will get an additional bonus as well. If you get both in the same deck, we're talking super powerful stuff. That's kind of fun. It's a fun little story. Check out, actually, I will put the video, the full-length video. It's about a 45-minute interview with about an hour of gameplay, 45 minutes of gameplay at the end of it. It's in the description below, but yeah. That's pretty much it, man. So we'll go ahead and just move it along. 2.0 decks. They played the gameplay a little bit with the new designs, and the decks look pretty much the same as far as the back goes. We're not seeing anything, no differences in the frames, no differences on the back. We're getting that high saturated 3-house system on the back with the Archon, which I will say they added more shapes to the algorithm, so in theory your Archons will look a little bit more unique. We started seeing some diminishing returns. I gotta be honest, I don't know how far you can get in the future. Like, there's only so much you can do with the space, but a bunch of new shapes are implemented into the system, and so that's something to look forward to. For me and my money, it's always been about the deck name more than the actual Archon illustration itself. Those are cool, but like the names themselves, that's kind of for me the bread and butter. Most of the personality comes from. So that's pretty much the decks. Organized play stuff they touched a little bit on right before the gameplay. Basically, the Vault Tower playmats. So yeah, so you can redeem your shards. They didn't say how many shards it takes to get a special edition Vault Tower playmat, but that opportunity is there. You can redeem your shards for scanning your decks in the app for good stuff in the future. So that's the quick breakdown. So just we got some new, we'll do a quick recap. Alpha, Omega, Deploy, new keywords. We're getting legacy cards. We're still having Mavericks, so having the addition to opening Mavericks, super exciting. Opening linked cards, exciting. Opening legacy cards, exciting. I don't know if Iconic, a year away set, I mean that set just came out a couple months ago. I don't know if the impact and the excitement of opening a legacy card in this set now is that exciting, but I will say, just that mechanic and that ability going in the future is super awesome. Just knowing that, not knowing, I'm assuming that they're not going to have a list of what legacy cards will pop up in each set, but just the mysteriousness of just, being surprised a couple years from now and just, I absolutely love this card. This card's in this deck. More monetary value, but that way too. A lot of excitement in that space. Link cards are great. 204 new cards, and that's an interesting split. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. 370 cards, 204 new, 166 old. Majority of the swaps were in the common level, so that's kind of exciting. I'm curious to see in practice, in theory, how new the gameplay is. If you open, let's say like 10 or 15 decks, and you've just been playing the heck out of KeyForge. If you buy a couple decks, is it really going to be a new experience? We'll see. We don't know. We don't have our hands on the cards yet. This is just an interesting split, so I don't know if this is more of like a continuation. It's not a unique new set.
And we're just going to Bouncing Death's Quark and kill the Grove Keeper.
And that's a Call of the Archons card,
That
correct?
is a Call of the Archons card. And I'm going to continue being boring with Call of the Archons card. I'm going to throw down a Library of Babel. Wow.
Brad, we've seen these cards already.
I know, I'm sorry. I just really like to get Library of Babels out early so I can get the maximum potential out of them.
So going forward, are we always on the Crucible? Who knows? I'm a gameplay over lore guy. I love the artwork, so I don't know quite really what's going on with the Crucible, to be completely honest with you guys. I just love the mechanics, I love the artwork, and I love what's going on with the gameplay. I don't know how important that is going forward. Much like Magic the Gathering, you have different planes. I imagine exploring different, I don't know if, the Crucible, is that the plane? Is the Crucible, just some, we'll deep dive into the lore a little bit more, but I think aesthetically going forward, I'm just excited. It looks cool. I'm pretty excited about it as well. Now, in the gameplay, they released a bunch of new cards, which I think we'll save for another video, but I just kind of wanted to get some details out there and just kind of like talk to everybody and just say that the name's out. The box looks cool, the artwork looks awesome. I'll just flash a couple quick designs right now so you can go ahead and kind of see what's going on. The artwork is sweet. It seems still very like on theme with each house, but going forward, I'm curious to see what they do. Do they just do all new, how exciting would it be going forward and just going to like a new plane and just seeing 7 new houses? The opportunity, that's very exciting. Do you just do like 4 and 3? Like you just do 1 new house a set? Who knows? Going forward, I'm very excited. KeyForge has legs. Now, touching on the registered decks, there's 600,000 decks right now. Set 1's been out for a while. I think November-ish, in that area. Supply is still kind of an issue for Middle America and places that don't have like a healthy flow of LGSs. I'm very lucky. I'm in Las Vegas, so I have like 5 or 6 local shops to go to that I frequent, and about 2 or 3 regularly, and I can always dip in and get some product. But I don't know how available it is across, in like smaller areas. I definitely seen online issues getting the starter sets. So hopefully they address that going forward, because man, oh man, the gameplay is tops. I really enjoy it. KeyForge Age of Ascension. I'm ready. Stay tuned. I think we're going to break down some of the newer cards in a video next week. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, and more KeyForge content is coming. The game is good. I like the game. We're going to talk about it more. Thank you for tuning in. The link to the full interview is below. Excuse me if this video is a little sporadic and all over the place. I literally just walked in the door from home. I still got, like, my hair's all messed up. I just wanted to get this video out now, quick, exciting stuff. So, thank you for tuning in. My name is Dean. Join us on Twitter at YoungCorpseTV. Bread and butter, basically. I love Twitter. Twitter's kind of where it's at. YouTube, we're growing. I think we're finally got above the 100 subscriber mark. So thank you guys if you did hit subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're awesome. Thank you. Stay tuned, and until the next video, stay classy, guys.